plaintiff, Tisha Small, says she and the defendant became friends when Tisha pledged the defendant's sorority. Tisha claims after they rented an apartment together, she learned the defendant had no ambition, was irresponsible, and she eventually dropped out of school. Tisha's suing her today for rent, a security deposit, and a cell phone bill. Defendant Myasia Jones says she befriended Tisha because she didn't have a lot of friends, and Myasia soon realized it was because Tisha tried to buy her friends. Myasia insists Tisha is suing for more than she owes.
Start with you.
First of all, I would like to say that I'm sad to even see us here, and I don't know why she brought her boyfriend, but we met in
Maybe he had something on that rent. Don't talk about him until you know why he's here.
We met in 2012. I had pledged her sorority at Lakeland College. She ended up being my big sister. We got to get to know each other. Then I ended up dropping, but we became like the best of friends. I considered her another sister.
Why'd they put you out?
I dropped myself.
Yeah, right. Why you get put out? Why'd they put her out?
She wasn't willing to do the work for it.
See that? I know when you get put out or when you drop out. Go ahead.
But then I started to realize how irresponsible and unambitious she was, partying, drinking, skipping class. She dropped out of school and hanging out with abusive people. I had pledged her sorority. She ended up being my big sister. Then I ended up dropping, but we became like the best of friends. I considered her another sister.
Why'd they put you out?
I dropped myself.
Yeah, right. Why you get put out? Why'd they put her out?
She wasn't willing to do the work for it.
See that? I know when you get put out or when you drop out.
Defendant Myasia Jones was friends with the plaintiff until she realized that the plaintiff tries to buy all of her friends.
Yeah? Tell me about some of this.
Well, first of all, I know that girls can be mean and catty, which is why when Tisha attempted to pledge my sorority, I befriended her. I saw a lot of myself in her. She didn't have many friends. She was quiet and reserved, just like I was. But after a while, I started to notice that the reason she didn't have any friends was because she tried to buy all of her friends.
That's a way to get more friends. That doesn't make sense, what you're saying. Did you drop out of school or get kicked out of school?
No, I couldn't afford to be in school because
Okay.
I couldn't pay that amount. I took some more classes, and so it costed a lot more than my...
See, it does help to be bought off by friends. You could have still been in school.
Yeah, I couldn't pay that, and my financial aid didn't cover it, so I took a break to go home, back to Milwaukee to work a little bit and to get myself together.
All right, you going back?
Yes.
All right, tell me why you're suing her. What happened with the rent and the security deposit?
Basically, she didn't give me any money for bills.
What was the agreement? Tell me what happened.
The agreement was to pay half of everything.
Starting when?
Starting as soon as we moved in together.
Okay, good enough. You want to tell me why you're here today? Because those answers there don't get her anywhere. She's not proving her case. Do you want to help prove it?
Well, we started, we were supposed to move in the beginning of March.
What year?
2014.
All right, there you go. March of 14.
Yeah, we're supposed to move in.
You all were to begin paying rent together.
To move in together.
All right.
I couldn't contribute.
How much was that?
$212, I believe.
Okay. And how much was the monthly rent?
$425.
And what was the agreement on paying rent?
Yeah, we were gonna go half and half. However, I didn't have a job coming in. She didn't either. So it was basically when we get a job, then we'll be able to split that half and half. We even had a little piggy bank.
So why'd you all move into an apartment and didn't have a job, neither of you?
She had money before, which is why it was such a rush for me. I asked her for one more week to get myself together. I was supposed to get a car and all this other stuff. She rushed me into it. So I couldn't even get a car. She wanted me to basically depend on her saying.
How long did you all stay there?
We stayed for about a month, not even probably.
1 month?
Yeah.
Why did it only last a month?
I think it was month to month lease. Like
I know. Why were you all there only 1 month?
Oh, things just weren't working out.
Like what?
As far as like the money and stuff, the jobs, just really wasn't working out. Me and her stopped getting along after a point in time. It was a time where I was walking 30 minutes to work on my feet all day at work, then walking back home from work because she wouldn't want to take me.
You all didn't last 30 days.
No, we did not last 30 days.
This is unheard of. Ma'am, you ready to tell me yet?
We did move in the end of February. she had told me that she did have a lot of money in her savings account. So I was like, okay, so we'll just find jobs once we get there, which I did find a job within 2 weeks, not even being there.
And did you pay your share March 14?
Yes, I did.
Did she pay her share?
Yeah, no.
What about the next month, April?
April, I had paid the whole thing. And with the security deposit, she had told me, like, there's no way for me to get the money to you. So I was like, fine, I'll just pay it all, and then you pay me once we get together.
So you're saying she failed to pay her half for March, her half for April, and her half of the security deposit?
Yes.
Ma'am?
It took me a lot longer than I thought to find a job. I did have money saved up from another job when I was working, but when we were moving, getting her stuff from Green Bay, it got lost. So.
All right. And the phone bill you're suing about?
The phone bill was, she didn't have a reliable phone to get in contact with her family. So I said, well, if I get a phone under my name, since she said she couldn't get a phone under her name, that she would pay the phone bill. And that didn't happen. That is also the cutoff fee, and that is March bill and April's bill.
Ma'am, what do you say to that?
For one, I did not say that I could not get my own line. I tried to get my own because I knew that the phone was a penny for a 2-year contract, so I was fine with that. So, all right, let's do the penny phone or whatever. When I tried to contact Tisha to ask her about bills the day before I got my first check, she didn't want to talk to me. She told me no, she didn't want to talk. She was about to go to sleep. So that was...
You're saying you wanted to pay and she wouldn't talk to you to allow you to pay.
I wanted to figure out what can I pay. Yeah, I couldn't cover the rent, but I could have covered something else, like the phones or something towards the Wi-Fi.
I'm missing something. Did you know how much you owed?
I knew it would be around 80 for my first bill.
So why didn't you give her the 80?
Because I wasn't for sure, and we weren't talking. So you just...
Ma'am, you wouldn't tell her how much she owed?
Well, with the bills, we had a pin board on the kitchen door, and I used to just always pin them on there.
Did you ever mention it to her?
It didn't, my address didn't shift over because I forgot to call the company and say, oh, I'm living in Plymouth now. And so my mail got late, and by the time that bill had came, our phones were already cut off.
Oh, both of your phones were cut off?
Both of them.
Neither of you paid your bill?
They don't just cut one, they cut both.
How long did you all stay there?
We stayed for about a month, not even probably.
1 month?
Yeah.
Why did it only last a month?
Oh, things just weren't working out because she wouldn't want to take...
You all didn't last 30 days?
No, we did not last 30 days.
This is unheard of.
Defendant Myasia Jones was friends with the plaintiff until she realized that the plaintiff tries to buy all of her friends.
Let me see the bill. How can we determine her share?
That is the breakup, and that's the phone bill.
So, ma'am, you do owe something. And how much was the shutoff?
The cutoff fee was $345.
Okay, because you all split that. What, you're expecting her to pay all of it? Why? You didn't pay your share of the bill either.
My bill was only $40 at the time.
But it was shut off because you didn't pay your $40. I'm not going to sit here and go penny to penny with this phone bill. Divide $710 by 2.
$355.
$355 your share of the phone bill, and also the rent, $425 plus $212. I know that. $637 plus $355 is what?
$992.
Pardon me?
$992.
You ever seen somebody with a calculator and can't add? We got that calculator years ago for this specific purpose. One more time, Doyle.
$992.
You better be glad we're friends. I would embarrass you. I would go in on you. $992 is your judgment. Have a good day, ladies.
I don't have anything to say.
I think that in a relationship, you have the good and the bad. Abusive, no. We both fight, we both argue, but at the same time, we both have good times.
It's all BS.
It's none of your business.